Kevon Looney, the silent assassin. I'm wearing this hat in his honor because we don't beat the Celtics a couple years ago for the fourth ring of this team, the third with Kevon Looney, without his big help in the paint. However, his future with the Warriors is in doubt. Rumors are swirling the Warriors will cut him to save $5 million on this upcoming salary cap. He was on Draymond Green Show last night and he talked about his future with the Warriors, what he needs to do to stay with this team or look elsewhere. So we're going to play you the full quote that he did, the segment on the Draymond Green Show, and we're going to analyze what he said and take it in depth. To everybody who subscribes, thank you so much. On our last couple episodes, only 13% of the people watching are subscribed. If you're in that 13%, thank you for supporting. It helps us grow the channel. If you're not, it would mean so much for you to subscribe so you can notify when these videos drop daily, and it'll help expand the reach of Warriors Digest. Let's get into today's video. Kevon Looney. So as I said, he was on the Draymond Green podcast and he was talking about his future and what it means with the Warriors, if it's with us or with not. So I'm going to play the full clip of him speaking. If you don't want to listen to it and you want to just hear the analysis, and I'll have quotes from it, go to the timestamp below. I think it's important to hear it from the person's mouth so you get the context and you can hear Looney speaking because he doesn't speak a lot.
Your future with the Warriors. $3 million guaranteed, $8 million salary. There's a bunch of things going around. Nobody know what the hell they're talking about. But just talk to me about what it's been like for the Warriors with you. Do you want to stay with the Warriors? What do you see next in your career? Just finished it's 2024, year 8.
It's year 9.
You just finished year 9.
Yeah, going on 10 next year.
Oh, we got full pension. What y'all talking about? You better act like you know that full pension. But talk to me about that too. Like what's next for you? Do you want to be with the Warriors? Do you see like it didn't finish great for me this year? Like what is it for you?
Well, the ball is in my court. I don't have full control over my destiny, so I kind of play the waiting game. Control what I can control. I've been here my whole career. I don't know nothing else. So, you always want to finish what you started and be somewhere for the whole career, but I'm been in this business long enough. I know that's not realistic. So I'm preparing myself for whatever. My family's out here. The Bay's been great to me. They treat me like family. I grew up here, so I haven't really thought about too far. I'm trying to see what they're going to do first before I really, push the envelope, see what I want to do. Right now, I'm just focusing on my game. Like you said, end of the season ain't the best for me, but I take pride in adapting and figuring stuff out. So that's I got a new goal, a new plan. I gotta be adapt. So I'm looking forward to add to my game, adapting to this new NBA, and figuring out. And I've been working hard, and I feel like I'm gonna be a different player next year. And that's always the goal. I feel like I conquered my old role, so now I got to figure out my new role and take that next step. So that's what I've been focusing on. I'm trying to focus on my game, and usually when you focus on your game and you put in the work, things always work out for me. So like I said, the ball ain't in my court. I've been a Warrior for life. Even whatever happens, I'm always gonna be a Warrior for life. And so I'm really just waiting to see what our organization gonna do.
You are most definitely that, my brother. You have been incredible for me in my life. I love you to death. I appreciate you. I know this organization, the fan base appreciate you. And I don't know what the hell anybody's doing. I don't even know. I hope to be there. But
Right.
but in saying all of that, as you said, number one, again, listen to these answers. This man is talking about the business of basketball. He's talking about the ball's not in my court, the ball's in their court, but I'm prepared for everything. And most importantly, what he just said in that answer, which is, I said this on the pod. Most importantly, he just said, I'm adjusted to this new NBA. Because since 2022, the NBA actually changed a lot. And I don't know if the average person watching the NBA realizes the shift that has happened in the NBA. But these shifts happen every so often. And the last shift that happened was due to the way Steph Curry shot the ball and the way Klay Thompson shot the ball. That was the last shift in the NBA. That shift is now shifted. And in turn, you saw Loon like not in the lineup sometimes, because it shifted. And what did he just say? I'm adjusting to this new NBA and I'm adding to my game so I'm prepared for that new NBA.
So there we go. Let's dissect it. The biggest part he said is this. The ball isn't in my court. I don't have full control over my destiny, so I kind of have to play the waiting game. Control what I can control. I've been here my whole career. I don't know anything else. You always want to finish what you started and be somewhere for your whole career. But I've been in this business long enough to know this is not realistic. I'm preparing myself for whatever. My family's out here. The Bay's been great to me. They treat me like family. I grew up here. This is a man who's realistic. He understands that he could be casualty of the salary cap and his skill set on the court, which he touches about later. What happened this season? Looney went from being an every game player, every game starter, to not playing at all. Multiple DNPs. His streak was broken. And why was that? Because Trayce Jackson-Davis emerged. He was a better all-around player for the Warriors in terms he was a lob threat. He was able to be more versatile on defense at times. He brought more dynamicism to the offensive area. Looney is a great player. He's the type of player you want in your team to win. But the NBA game has evolved. When the Warriors came through in the 2015s, it became small ball, positionless ball. Now we're going back to where it's kind of like you need a great guard and a big man who can catch lobs, potentially get outside and shoot threes. It's changing now, and they talk about that on the podcast. Looney also said, I haven't really thought about it too far. I'm trying to see what they're going to do first before I push the envelope and see what I need to do and what I'm going to do. So, hey, Warriors, ball's in your court. And why is that? Looney signed a 3-year, $22.5 million contract as a free agent in 2022 to remain a Warrior after winning his third ring and playing all 82 games in his first time in his career. The upcoming third and final year of Looney's deal comes at a very important detail. Only $3 million of the $18 million on his 2024-2025 contract is guaranteed. 3 of the $8 million. We're at the salary cap right now. So when we look at our salary cap for 24-25, you can see right here, Kevon Looney, $8 million. But only $3 million is guaranteed. Meaning, if they cut him, they owe him $3 million, and that frees up $5 million. That takes you from 174 to 169. Of course, Chris Paul is $30 million. If that's gone, then that takes you to 139. Use that money to get Klay Thompson, potentially another shooter, someone like that. So that $5 million can go a long way in signing potentially multiple players, signing some of the high level. And is Trayce Jackson-Davis playing that much more now in this season 2 where you don't need Looney? He could be a starter, could be backup, but if you can get someone who can get the same type of production or more versatile than what Looney has provided, and you can save some money on that, it's an option the Warriors may have to look at. And that's why you're seeing rumors like this. Kevon Looney will likely be released by the Warriors to save money on their tax bill. As we just said, $3 million is owed of the $8 million salaries guaranteed. Kevon Looney likely to be released by Golden State. So basically, by what he said on the podcast, is generating these rumors. When he first signed with the Warriors, his contract looked like it was a steal. He played all 82 games, starting 70. Finished 8th in most improved player voting after averaging 7 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, and 24 minutes per game. And received MVP chance during the 2022 Warriors championship run, which is why I'm wearing this hat. We don't win this against the Celtics without him. However, as I mentioned earlier, his consecutive games played streak ended at 290. He lost his starting job to Trayce Jackson-Davis and received multiple did not plays. However, he was a consummate Warrior. He was ready to come in, ready to play, and did everything he needed to do on the bench as a great team player. And when he got his name called, he came back in the game, he was effective. Especially those last couple games when we needed to win to even make the play-in, he came in the game and really helped. Right now, I'm just focusing on my game, he said. End of the season didn't end the best for me. I take pride in adapting and figuring stuff out. And what does he need to work on? And this is where I said how the game is changing. Right now in the finals, we're watching lob threats like Mavs centers Daniel Gifford and Derek Lively III They're representing. They're getting above the rim. They're catching lobs. They're able to get up and down the court fast, which has never really been Looney's game. If he's getting the ball on offense, it's more of a post up, or he's getting offensive rebounds and putting it back up. Celtics play 5-out basketball with a big man like Al Horford or Kristaps Porzingis. Looney isn't about to grow 7 feet. He isn't going to start throwing down poster dunks, and the three-point line isn't about to become his second home. So he's kind of getting phased out of the game. Look at Wemby. Look at Chet. It's tall, lengthy centers who are really thriving. Can get outside the paint, can dunk, get up and down the court. When Looney was taken as a 19-year-old out of UCLA, he could have been a 3, could have been a 4, had multiple hip surgeries, and ended up being a 5, which is crazy because you got Draymond at 4, him at 5, and they didn't expect that. But this is where his offensive liability has been affecting us. In the past, it made up for it. Now it's not. He's only taken a total of 3-point attempts in his past 3 seasons, 1 each year, and missed all 3. So he's not a threat, meaning he has to be in the paint. If you're going to put him at the 3-point line in any type of motion offense, they're just going to sag off of him. So it's something he recognized and he talked about in that quote he needs to do better at and he needs to develop in his game. Looney said he wants to be more offensive minded, which can involve being an option from deep. A goal of 35 or 36% beyond the arc is one he stated nearly 2 months ago, and he's trying. I got a new goal. That's my new plan. I got to be able to adapt. So I'm looking forward to that, adding to my game, adapting to this new NBA and figuring it out. I've been working hard, and I feel like I'm going to be a different player next year. That's always the goal. And that's what you need to do. As you become a veteran in the league, he's hitting year 10, how do you adapt? We look at players like Jason Kidd. He went from being super athletic up and down to more ball controlling, passing. He slowed his game down when his athleticism started slowing down, but he was still just as good. LeBron James has developed a shot which he didn't have at the beginning of his career. Yes, he can still get downhill, but he's more of an isolation player on offense than he ever has when he has the ball in his hand and he's shooting. So players are able to adapt their game. We're going to have to see Steph adapt eventually when his athleticism gets down, but he can still make threes. Will he still be on the screens and moving with the ball, or more of a catch and shoot three? So players have to adapt as we see their skills go away. I conquered my old role, so now I got to figure out my new role and take that next step. That's what I've been focusing on. I'm trying to focus on my game. And usually when you focus on your game and you put in the work, things always work out for me. I love that mentality. The ball ain't in my court. I've been a warrior for life. Even whatever happens, I'm always going to be a warrior for life. Really just waiting to see what our organization is going to do. So we have decisions to make. Again, Klay Thompson, Chris Paul, the 2 biggest glaring things. If you need to free up money to potentially keep Klay, does Looney become the sacrificial lamb? You cut him, you save the $5 million. The problem is we don't really have a defined center backup. Maybe Usman, who got called up super late, but he's 22 and you can't expect him to jump in that role. So I would think they're going to go get a backup center. If not, get someone who can be a 7-footer, tall, lengthy, spread the floor. Personally, I love Looney. I think he's a great player. He's the type of player that every team wants and needs. Does his job, first in, last out, team player, works hard. You know on both sides of the ball, he's going to give his all effort. I think there's a place for him on this Warriors team. I would like to think he stays. He's one of those team chemistry guys. Definitely would hurt not to have him, especially if he goes somewhere else, and he will get picked up. He does well against the Warriors. That would suck. I think you got to let go of Chris Paul. You're not paying him the $30 million. That takes your salary below 174 minus 30. It takes you to 144. Gives you some room. If you can get Klay back for 10, 15 million, then you're still around 160. Yeah, it doesn't give you much room to work per se. You're like $10 million over the limit. We've talked about drafting some young players who could come in and help. We've also talked about some trades. I think I'd rather keep, honestly, and you're probably going to kill me in the comments, I'd rather keep Looney as a backup and trade Wiggins and try to get another wing player who's a little bit more versatile on offense. You may lose some defensive guard, but I think Kuminga can pick that up. But get someone else who's a better three-point sharpshooter you can trust, because Wiggins really, unfortunately, was not trusting his shot towards the end of the season, and it affected us. So comment your thoughts. Do you think the Warriors should keep Looney, Do you think the Warriors should let Looney go, eat the $3 million, but you save $5 million? And I'd love to hear your thoughts, and we'll keep you updated as the situation develops in next weeks. Bye, y'all.